Hey guys. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter when you catch this replay. But if you're in the room, welcome to being in the room where it happens. This is our Friday. Yep, this is our Friday Logi 2 p.m. call. Super excited, but I want to start this off by saying, guess what? You survived the Amazon crash of 2025. And that's saying a lot. For those of you that do not know, there was a crash, a system shutdown that affected so many different platforms, not just Amazon, but us as content creators and influencers. It really affected us because we could not see sales. Also, sales couldn't go out. So our sales may have been lower, or some of them they picked back up, some of them they did not, because you may have had some people who, if they did they made a purchase and then the shutdown happened and they couldn't get it in the time that they needed, they may have went back and canceled that purchase, and so many different things. But there's some key things that I want to share with you as content creators and influencers when it comes to situations like this, because this was not the first time and it most likely won't be the last. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Altavis. I am at Altavis Unmuted across all platforms. I have been around from Facebook crashing and people's content going missing. I've been around for Periscope being here and then being gone, Blab, musically becoming TikTok, so many different changes for the content creation and influencer world, right? We've seen different programs come up like Amazon, Walmart, Lowe's, and some of these other different programs. We've also seen some completely fizzle out and we not hear anything about them. Um, Here's the thing. We are on other people's platform. And so we don't get the opportunity to determine how well it flows. We know with our own systems, things happen, right? Something breaks down, something doesn't go the way it's supposed to be. There's nothing we can really do about that. But as there in our space, there's some things that we can do to lessen the stress of the situation and also to have full information and know what we're doing next. So first and foremost, I want to say one of the most amazing things that I saw was that you guys did not freak out in our community. We saw, I mean, there were questions that were asked and we did have some conversations, and but I saw in some of the other groups where there were tons and tons and tons of uh posts about the same exact thing. So when I talk about being a content creator, again, we're talking about being, this is the business side of it. So whenever something like this happens, first things first, do the research. Even if you're asking the community, hey, what is going on with this? Or have you seen this? If you're going into a group, use the chat, the search bar at the top of the group so you can search to see if that particular topic has been talked about in a group. Y'all, when I tell you there were tons, now mind you, it was good for the group because I guess it gave the different groups engagement, but you could see that other influencers that had been in the program for a while were kind of getting frustrated with, like, y'all just read the read the room, go and do the research, check in the group. Yeah, the duplicate posts were crazy. Like it got really bad, you guys, in some groups. And even I think some, depending on whose group it was, sometimes the organizer of the group was like, hey, let me do a post for you guys for everybody. And you still have people still posting. Um, Andrew said, I told my mom, I think Amazon did it for a for a B-Day gift. Yeah, listen, we've seen multiple things happen with Amazon, especially as they go and expand the platform, as they create new parts of the platform. We've seen situations happen before with AWS. This is not the first time. This is not just the second time either. So again, it's a part of the process. Things break. You figure out how to fix it and make it better and potentially move forward. It doesn't always work that way though. Listen, Stephanie, that is a very good point. If you all did not see what Stephanie put in the chat, go check that out. Yeah, but the duplicate posts, because people they didn't know how to search the group, or just, and people were like, I'm not scrolling through all of this stuff to see who said what. But even if you just put that search in, it'll pull up the specific post about what it is you have a question for. That part. That's right. Read the previous post in the group. Some days the groups are just fun for scrolling and being entertained, but I'll get in trouble if I open my mouth. And it's interesting because, especially depending on how long you've been in the program, because you have insight, you have information, you have experience. And sometimes people are posting not necessarily to get access to your insight and knowledge and experience. Sometimes it's just for engagement. And I know that we're like, no, we're adults. Why would people do that? Because this is what people do. So you'll see somebody may post about the same situation multiple times. Sometimes that's what it's about. It's to get the engagement, not necessarily to get an answer. So I'm saying that because I know we want to jump to help every single person that we see post about something. And we're like, we know the answer to that. Sometimes you got to sit back and see what's really going on to determine, okay, do I need to answer this? Or like, is this person really looking for the answer, or what's really going on? Y'all. that Listen, some of the things that contributed to me being Altavis Unmuted, that is definitely one of them. Understanding how valuable the information you have is and when to share that valuable information. I love coming and sharing it with you guys on Fridays. And there's some, groups, I'll answer a couple questions, but y'all, I see a lot of stuff going on in some of these groups. And you just have to kind of be like, okay, let me watch. Let me pay attention first, and then I'll go ahead and kind of give my insight. So I love it that we have the Logi group, and then we have the other influencer group, only influencers, where you guys can ask questions. And again, easiest thing is always start with that search bar to be able to see who else may have been talking about that conversation, or if they talked about it previously, right? It may have been a conversation that was talked about 3 months ago, and you have some new information to add. Going and adding it on that post can kind of give the people that were looking for it all the information in one space. So I definitely wanted to share that. Second thing on the docket, y'all, this was a good, interesting week situation. We got an apology from Amazon. Did you see it? You should have gotten one in your email. Now, I did not check the dashboard to see if it was on the dashboard as well, but I got mine via the email. And it was them saying, hey, we apologize. We know what's going on. We've been told, and we're trying to fix it and see, how we can get things back in place, and we'll get back to you guys. They did it. Now, of course, we don't know how many people actually reached out to Amazon first for them to send it out. But I feel like, as far as a situation like this is the first time we've gotten communication from Amazon. That's major. Listen. Oh, most definitely. Andrew just said it. Yeah, a quick keyword phrase search in the group could blow your mind because people share so much information. Stephanie said, yes, I did get that email. It's nice for them to acknowledge the situation. We know that we have talked over the years about how we feel, like we're not being heard all the time, or we're not having that communication with them. And that showed that they're moving in the right direction. We wish situations like this didn't happen, but the fact that they owned up to it and made that communication, sent that out to us, I think that was really powerful, y'all. That was a big step. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. When it comes to situations like this, of course, we're not in control. We're not in control with what goes on with the platform, with the system. We can control our content up to a certain degree. But when situations like this happen, I want to share that the first thing you want to Do is not freak out. Again, do your research, see if you can find out what's going on, but also you don't have to freak out. Sometimes that is your opportunity to step back from your dashboard, step back from looking at numbers, step back from looking at conversion rates and things of that nature, and just go and create content. Go film, go edit. Now, here's the thing. I will say this, because what some people found out the hard way is that this is the time for you to go edit, record, but not necessarily upload. Not necessarily upload, because a ton of people uploaded content and it just was in it was in, it was in the multiverse. And they ended up having to delete it and re-upload it. So you may not want to upload during that time, but this is a perfect time for you to go and record, re-record new content, edit the content, do your voiceovers. So that way, when the system is back online, all you need to do is upload. Upload, put your caption, your titles, depending on what kind of content you're uploading. Again, less stress for you because I'm not paying attention to the numbers. That's another major thing when it comes to content creation. You can stress yourself out by always trying to pay attention to the numbers. We talk about, you should pay attention to your numbers, yes. But you have some people that are going and checking their numbers 4 and 5 times a day. You have some people that are going and, like, during this week, when the situation happened, they kept going back to see if it had changed, kept going back to see if it had changed. Even if it had changed, it wouldn't have allowed you to do anything different, because when everything was back up, we still saw no numbers. We still saw absolutely no numbers. And again, this is not the first time it's happened, and each time is the same when it comes to that aspect. This is your opportunity to pull back. This is your opportunity to go and do the other parts of your business. This is your opportunity to create content offline, off of Amazon. This is where you get those things to be able to do. Earlier, they were telling you guys about some other extensions and other opportunities. We know that we have Logi. You have content that you can go, and you don't need the actual product. You can do stuff on LTK. You can do stuff on Biddable. You can do stuff on Pinterest. So you have other opportunities there where if something isn't going right with that particular platform, you can go to these others and give your attention there. One of the things, and think about it, if you're at your job and something's not working at your job, does your employer still want you at the job doing nothing? So if you're working for you, you're the employer and the employee. Watching the numbers is not doing anything for your business. As a content creator, it's not. So, as the employer that you are when it comes to content creation and your content, you have to look at it in that aspect and say, okay, it's not benefiting me going back and forth to the platform to see if it's up. When it's up, it'll be up. I'm not going to sing the song, but when it's up, it's up. You looking for it to be up, you checking it is not making it come back any faster. Stephanie said it's also okay to just take a day off. Exactly. And that was the next thing on the list. Sometimes that it's okay to just take that time off. You don't have to create content. Take the day off. Go to the park. Go. I would say go to the pool. If you have an indoor pool, go to the pool, depending on where you live. It's cold here, so we're not going to pool. We might go to an indoor one, not outdoor. Take the day off. Relax. I know we create routines. I know we want to get frustrated when things aren't flowing in the routine like we prefer. But it is okay to take a day off. I have to say, for this particular situation, because I've been through it before, I wasn't worried about it. Said if they bring it back up, they bring it back up. If I still get the money for those days, I do. If I don't, I don't. I'm not going to stress out about it. I'm just going to keep moving forward. I went and recorded a bunch of content. Y'all, I've had so many products come in. Woo, y'all, I've had so many products come in. So I recorded a bunch of content. I'm also back to recording podcast content or working on that. I'm also back to writing. So I'm like, it gave me perfect time for me to go and do some of those other things. So I'm like, okay, well, we just sit this to the side and then I'll work on something else. And you know what's funny? There were so many, so Reddit was down. Amazon was down. United was down. I think it was like 48 different companies were all just like kaputs for that time frame. You said, and maybe take a shower. Yeah, that's it. Megan said it. Go outside, play with the dog, touch grass. Listen, and you guys had homework last week. Don't think I forgot about that. You guys had homework to go get a game and play a game with your family and record yourself playing that game. I did it. Now you didn't have to say nothing. I got a game. And the game, I think I took it upstairs. The game is called Sriracha. And I decided to play with my niece and my sister. And I lost all all 3 games that we played. I lost. But the snippet that I shared with you guys was me winning like 2 hands back to back. I was excited. And then I still lost that game. I did. But I had fun. Oh, and you know what? I know that's a good. Stephanie said my family didn't want to be recorded, but we played. Listen, and here's the thing. And I didn't have them in the video. You just see our hands, because sometimes you don't have to. You don't just record where the table's at, and you're good. But y'all, again, take that time to just have some fun. Exactly. That's what it's about. Take the time to have some fun. So when it's going on, determine, am I going to make this time for me to go ahead and relax with family and friends? Am I just going to go ahead and take the day off? Or am I going to make this a content creation day and then I'll just upload it later? But I'm not going to focus on, is it back? It's almost like hearing a child say, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Every time you go and check it, it's that same thing. Is it back yet? Is it back yet? Are my numbers back? Did I make, is it there yet? We don't have to do that, y'all. We don't have to do that. So that's some of the things that you do, or, 2 different options. Here's another thing. The day that Amazon is not working, or any of the platforms, that can be your day that you go and you reach out to brands. Now, this is because this is a me and you thing. I'm going to give y'all the insight, the tea. I got y'all. So this is the time frame where you go and you reach out to brands that you're interested in working with that have a presence outside of Amazon. Again, we're talking about the business side of this. You go and you connect with brands. So go and look at 5 brands, reach out to them either via email or social media. Usually IG is the best to reach out to brands because they're more active on their IG than they are any other platform. Pretty much in the actual messaging section, they're more active on IG than they are on most of the other platforms. So reach out to the brand and say, hey, especially if they have a website, reach out to them and say, hey, Amazon is down, but you have a website. This is where you pitch yourself to the brand to get an affiliate link so you can go and promote the brand right to their website. So you're not just promoting it on Amazon. Listen, Andrew said, I have over 1,000 emails to go through to sift through spam requests and legit requests. Exactly. I have a ton of messages came through. I had I had a brand reach out for something, and I'm a little nervous about saying yes to it because I was like I have the ideas already, the content ideas are already in my head. I know exactly where I can go to record for it, what kind of content I can make with it. But I was just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And they're like, yeah, just they sent me maybe 8 different product links. And they're just like, yeah, just send us your sizes. What? Whew. So if y'all see some interesting content come out from me in the next couple weeks, just know we're out here just having a blast. I've had brands that, and here's another thing, I had brands start reaching out to me that are not on Amazon yet, but they're about to launch on Amazon. I've had 2 brands reach out to me that are not on Amazon yet. They saw my content, reached out, and were like, hey, we're about to launch, and we would love to have you create video and content, have it on social, and then also be able to post it on Amazon when we launch on Amazon. That part. Michelle said, are we just talking small brands? So here's the thing. It works for both. It works for both. So you can, it depends. I will say this, and Stephanie just said, she hasn't seen much of, she hasn't seen much come back from the bigger brands. I'm going to, again, because we're here, because it's us. When you reach out to the bigger brands, what you'll want to do is engage on their content. Build that engagement so they see your name. And then when they're going through the messages, it works in your favor. That's with the bigger brands. The smaller brands, they typically don't get as many requests. So you get more engagement from them. But the bigger brands, they're getting a ton of requests. But if you're engaging on their content and they kind of, especially if they have somebody that's dedicated to that particular platform, then what they'll do is they'll see the engagement and the, hey, especially if you're somebody that says, oh, I have this product, or I've used this product from them. And I actually let it, like, real content, like real engagement, where it's not just something to throw, out there, but they actually see that you're using the stuff or that you're really interested. You can build it that way. Because then you can also, again, if you do the email, you can always say, oh yeah, because I've engaged with your brand on IG, on TikTok. It again, it allows them to be able to see your name. So definitely do it with both, but be very deliberate about what brands you're reaching out to. So that's why I said start out with like 5. So that way you can kind of gauge the process for yourself. But during times like that, it's the best time to do it because, okay, there are brands that are on Amazon, they have their own website. If they have their own website, this is your opportunity to say, hey, I would love to promote from your website. If you have an affiliate link, I would love to be able to, get into your affiliate program. Like, come on, talk yourself up. You know your numbers. Even when the numbers for the day aren't showing up, you know your numbers. Andrew said one of them is a lingerie company that reached out to me because my idea list got them some sales. There you go. Stephanie said, oh, idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Billy said, I have done over 4,100 paid brand deals, low ticket, high frequency add up. That's it. Make that cheddar off Amazon. Billy, come off and say it on camera. Because I don't think everybody in the room doesn't know who you are, Billy. Say it again for the people in the back.
Oh, that's funny. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it for years. I've been saying it for 3 years, 4,100 paid brand deals. Um, they got a budget. I'll just say that. They got a budget. Negotiate. Don't be afraid to negotiate. A lot of money sitting out there. It's good.
Exactly. And so, for those of you that don't know who Billy is, say hi to Billy in the chat. Billy has been doing this for quite some time. He is another one of the OGs. I know everybody may not think of OG in the same context, but he is one of the OGs when it comes to creating not just Amazon, but creating content, because you can see his content across his social media platforms as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and Megan said,
Yeah, a lot of
also,
fun.
right? Exactly.
Yeah, when you were talking earlier about the Amazon crash, I was like, oh, okay, what, just another thing. Let's do something else. So, and that's what a lot of new people are freaking out, like reaching out to me, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I'm like, welcome to the party. It's a roller coaster, baby. It's the life of an entrepreneur. Have fun.
That part. And it was, if I felt bad because people who are just coming into the program, it's like you just want to be like, they're there, baby squirrel, they're there. It will be okay.
Well, and that's what I always tell people. I'm like, you got to figure out a way to leverage these platforms, not rely on them. And that's the risk that you take when you just, and I get it. Everyone's situation is different. My business model is built for me and my personality. And, a lot of people early on, 4 years ago, definitely 3 years ago, when I went hard in the paint, were like, dude, you're crazy. This isn't going to work. And I'm like, I want to make six figures, work 25 hours a week, and live on an island, and they're like, whatever. And I'm like, 3 years later, I make six figures, work 25 hours a week, and live in Puerto Rico. So it does work. It just takes a system, and just find out what works for you. But there's a big world out there when you use your skill set of content creation that's not relying on algorithms, platforms, clicks, views, and what I call maybe money. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there.
That part. So again, and the opportunity is reliant on, again, knowing your numbers, so that way you can advocate for yourself and being able to just go ahead and jump in. Y'all, sometimes it's we see other people and we want to get confirmation from everybody as to, what should be the next step that we do. But sometimes you just need to jump, like go, reach out, message them, because they're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. At the end of the day's going to end. They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. There's no middle ground, you guys. I mean, if they say maybe, okay, well, just move on to the next one. Uh, but you have to put yourself out there and understand that, yeah, there are brands that want to pay you. There are going to be brands that want to steal your content. There's going to be brands that don't think you're worth the money. There's going to be brands that don't understand the process of actually working with a content creator. It comes with the process. It comes with the journey. Sandy had a question, you guys. So when we sell products, do the brands know the sales came from us? If so, how? So when we sell products, no, they don't know specifically who it came from. They just know that it came. They just know, bottom line, they made money. Um, Now, if you're doing something with an affiliate link, they know that it came from you specifically. So I have some brands that I work with that I have an actual affiliate link, and some of them I have a coupon code. And if they use the coupon code, they know it came from me. I get a percentage. If they use the affiliate link, they know it came from me. I get a percentage. Outside of that, no. The only other way that they know that it came directly from you is if you're doing a campaign, a creator connections campaign, because then they can actually go through the campaigns and they can see the content, or they can see, I think on their end, they can see what's being paid out to who. Don't know for sure. That may not be something that they're privy to, but that would possibly be the only other way that they're seeing specifically who's doing what. So typically, depending on the brand, if I'm working with a brand off of Amazon, I, I'll go ahead and I'll create a sales data sheet for that particular brand, depending on the level of collaboration that I'm doing with that particular brand. Yeah. Good, good, good. Yeah. And they said the same thing down in the comments. You would be surprised how much you can make from idealists. And here's the thing, we always go back and forth with the idealist because we don't get like a specific report that says this is what you made from the idealist. But um I've seen conversion happen from idealists because some things I just have it on the idealist. I don't have it anywhere else. There's some things I just have it on Binnable. So I know that the sale came from Binnable because it's not, I don't have it somewhere else. So it is it's kind of like a weird space to be in, because if we're creating a list on Amazon, we are excited to create it on Pinterest and create it over on Binnable, but then it's a little harder for you to track because they don't always specify where it's coming from. Now, if you're looking at Logi, of course, Logi does a pretty good job of breaking down where stuff is coming from, but depending on the platform that it's coming from, they may not be able to say specifically where it came from. That's why on Amazon it'll say, other offsite. It'll be like other, and you're like, other what? Other spaceship, other under train track, under what, like other what? And it just can't give it because of the platform that it came from. CJ said, yes, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That part. Um, I know, Eileen, right? I am going to suggest that Billy do a fireside chat with. I am going to message him and ask.
Anytime. Just let me
And
know.
now y'all heard him say anytime. Y'all clocked it. He said it. Okay. A combo of earning what to do, but also just doing it. See how it goes. In most cases, whatever you are doing, you will get better with experience, but that experience has to start somewhere. And here's the other thing, y'all, who just started doing Amazon today? None of you. All of you have experience. With the experience that you have, you should have some confidence. I know it's hard because you're like, oh, but I don't know as much as this person. I don't give a care if you don't know as much as somebody else. You know something, and what you know is valuable. So that allows you to come to the table and say, this is my value. This is what I'm worth. Now, there'll be times where you lowball yourself. Yes. Because we never know, sometimes we got to get to that point where we go and ask high and allow them to talk us down to what we really wanted. But understand that you can come in with an ask. You can come in because you have that time in. Not only do you have the time in, you have the experience, and you can look at your numbers and say, this is what my content has been able to do. Sandy said, so Andrew says a lingerie brand reached out to him due to sales from his idealist. Exactly. Yeah. There's been, and the other thing on if you're doing the curated list, now again, curated list at the top of your Amazon store are beneficial. Keep them small. Pin posts at the top of your storefront, beneficial. So if you're sending brands to your storefront, or brands are searching you out and finding you on there, they're seeing the ones that are doing the best in sales. Beneficial. And then your ideal list. Amazon does promote ideal lists in certain areas on the platform. We don't know if it's larger list, if it's smaller list. They haven't really given us any insight to that, but they do. That part. Uh, So they may have seen the idea list and then went from there and reached out. But I'm sure Andrew can give you the breakdown of that. Megan said, I have a photo that has like 100K views and it generates sales. Same thing with the photos. We've talked about doing the photos. You should. Now, here's the thing with the photos. We're not just taking strange photos and stuff. Like, make it presentable. So that way people are like, oh, it's pretty. Like, oh, I want that. The same way that you used to see people do the ASMR videos where they're restocking and doing all things like that, and people are buying the stuff. It's almost the same thing. The brands see who generate sales. The lingerie company mentioned exactly how much I generated. Oh, and see, he just said they reached out via email too. That's very different than them reaching out on Creator Connection, y'all. Because Creator Connection, or not them reaching out, us communicating with them on Creator Connection. He said they sold him out. They said, oh no, we need to talk to them. Early in November, so that it is before Black Friday versus the end of November. You may have to do that and just have November's because we were going back and forth if we were going to do the fireside chat virtual, just like a recording for you guys, so that way we wouldn't mess up you guys on Black Friday. But if we did it the week before Black Friday, we could possibly do that. That part. Okay. I think I got through all of those. Okay. So we talked about what to do the day of. Here's the thing. What do you do after we have a situation like we did with the crash this week? Again, that's when you go back to updating your content. When I say updating, that means you should be going through, if you have Oink, you're going through and you're looking at what's not connected to anything. It's untagged, or anything that you may have that's overtagged, or anything that's unavailable. Unavailable content may be something where the brand just re-uploaded it with a new ASIN and you need to change the ASIN. Done. It works in your favor. Sometimes it's the product is not there. They don't have it in stock. They don't have any inventory of it. Sometimes they don't have it and they're not bringing it back. They just haven't taken it down. I don't know how long that process takes for them, but here we are. But it puts you in a space where you can start earning again from content that was doing well for you previously that stopped. Or you can see what you may need to go. You may need to go and get that particular product from a different brand and do content for that other brand. So that's one of the things that you're going to look at afterwards, because again, we still have a regular routine. We're still going back at this. We haven't stopped. We may have slowed down. We haven't completely stopped. Now, I will get this. When you look at your numbers, it may be disheartening sometimes because you may not see numbers for those days. It may be disheartening because, again, some people may have gone back and canceled their orders. Some people may have had an issue because, again, many platforms were down. So people may have had an issue. The brand itself may have seen an issue happen because of that and weren't able to send out orders. So don't just think that we're missing money because of the glitch and now Amazon just doesn't want to pay us. That's not the case. Sometimes it's literally, oh, well, people weren't able to get something in the time frame they needed it, so they canceled the order. So that affects us too. And I know our first thought is, Amazon doesn't like us. No. There is a lot going on behind the scenes. We're not always privy to the whole process, but again, don't stress out. If you go into the group, do a post or do a search first and see if somebody else has posted and it's talking about it, because you need just to kind of clear your head. You need to scream in a comment section. By all means, we do understand. But afterwards, you just get back into that same routine. Also, afterwards, that's when you go back and you finish doing what you were doing prior to, reaching out to your brands that are in Creator Connections, looking at the campaigns in Creator Connections, checking that out as well. I know now our sales updated for most people. I believe it updated. I don't know if everybody it updated properly for everyone. Creator Connections took like an extra day to update or so. So some people did start seeing that update as well. But y'all, if it did or if it didn't, you just have to make a decision. Are you going to stick with it? If you ever get to a point where you're so stressed out that you're saying, I don't know if this is something that I want to continue to do, take a step back, reach out to someone, talk to someone, and determine if this is something that you can continue doing. Because again, as a business, you have to think about this as a business and a business mindset. If you're doing something and it's causing you more pain and stress, then you got to make a decision to say, is this something I can continue to do? You guys are here. You decided that you're going to continue to do it. We're here. We decided that we're going to continue to do it. That makes a difference. Because I can guarantee you that there's somebody somewhere that because of this glitch this week, they decided to give it quits. Somebody somewhere, because of the glitch this week, they said, oh, I'm over this, and they went and applied for a job. And that's just the reality of content creation and being an influencer. That's the reality of it. Because you can't control the hills and valleys that come with this process. That's it. Andrew said, yep, solopreneurship is not always sunshine and rainbows and simple. It can be a pain in the butt too. And it very well can be. But you have a support system. Tap into your support system. Again, you guys know I'm always telling you your mental health is so important. It is so important. If there's a moment where you feel as though you got to step back. You got to understand your value, your worth that you're bringing to this. Take that step back. That's okay. But then when you come back to it, be ready to hit the ground running. Be ready to do the work. Be ready to enjoy yourself. Because again, this should not just be all work. We should have some enjoyment. We should have some laughs. Y'all, I giggle, I laugh. I make mistakes. I do all types of things. But here we are. Y'all, here we are. If and or when we have another issue, it can be any platform, y'all. It can be Amazon, it can be TikTok, it can be Facebook, it can be IG, it can be any platform, it can be LTK, it can be anything. Put yourself into the mindset of, as the business owner, what are my next steps? If you were working, listen, if you had somebody working for your business and your business was acting janky, what would you tell your employees? What would you say to them? Would you want them just sitting there stressing out? Most times when something happens at a job, they send people home. Listen, right? You're either going to do work or you sent home. It's the same thing, guys. That part. So with that being said, now y'all can see why I said I wanted to talk about this the great crash, that great Amazon crash of 2025. because this affects us in more ways than once. And again, it's not always Amazon, but there's always something going on. Yeah. Like there's always something going on, y'all. Always. Always something. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Your homework. Look, and we ended early this week. Y'all know we don't never end early. So your homework this week, take some time for you this weekend. Have some fun. If you did not get a game to play with your family and record some content, go get a game, record some, because again, Black Friday, y'all know games are always going to be something people are looking for. It's content that you could put across social media. It's content that you can go ahead and again, it's something fun to kind of just bring you back and allow yourself to relax. Take some time, see what content you need to upload that you haven't uploaded already. I told you I had a ton of stuff come in and I've been recording all week. And so a bunch of stuff is going to be uploaded between today and Sunday. But take that time that you need as well. Were there any other questions when it comes to, you said you keep us going. Were there any other questions when it comes to just dealing with the crash that happened this week? When it came to your numbers, when it came to your content should have been good. Nobody should have had any issues with any content going missing. We have seen a big uptick in accounts being shut down because, again, we saw that Amazon just did the whole update with the TOS. And you guys, next week, Fireside Chat next week, Friday, 12 p.m., we're going to be talking about TOS. There have been so many people getting their accounts shut down. And they're like, well, I've been in the program for 3 months and I've been in the program for But when TOS just came out and they said specifically about the trademark, which is what we talked about it. I'm still seeing accounts being shut down because they did not pay attention to that. And so they used something that Amazon said they couldn't use and the account got shut down. That part. Did you get any? Oh, wait. Did you get anything from the text or how about the Audible promo? I did see the Audible promo. I did not receive, I still haven't received any text messages. Mm-mm. Yeah, I didn't get the text. But I did see the information about Audible, the promo for Audible. I saw that information. Oh, see you, CJ. If you're like, what promo for Audible? You should have gotten no, actually, I think I did get a text for that one. I got a text for that one. So I did get one text. But you should have got an email about some promos if you've been invited to do them starting for November, which is, of course, right in time for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, all of the things, all of these sales that'll be going on. The other thing we've also talked about, I don't know where the booklets are. We've talked about looking at the actual physical booklets that people have been sending out. So Five Below, I told you I got one from them. I got the one from Amazon. Start looking through those booklets. You should start getting booklets from some of the other companies. Start seeing what it is that they're promoting so we can kind of get a feel of what's going to, be on sale in other stores and kind of make a comparison to what will be on sale for Black Friday. You guys should have that information possibly has come out to you as well, depending on what tier you're in. So that may be something to look at as well. Stephanie said I get plenty of text messages. Oh, right. I know. I tried, y'all. We were so close. So I mean, we're still going to end on time. Y'all know, typically we'll be on here and it'll be like half hour past and we still talking. Uh, okay, I think I got through everything. Exactly. 30 minutes over that part. Oh, if you haven't done so already, I said it last week and I want to reiterate it. If you have not done so, go to the Logi site and look at the new brands that are on Logi. Because there are some that are really great and there are some that are winter specific stuff that you may want to kind of look at and see if you want to do some content for stuff or start doing some blog posts. If you're doing blogs, remember, follow TOS, terms of service. But if you're doing blogs and you're trying to promote stuff for Black Friday or that weekend, that week, make sure that if it has anything, you don't want it to have Amazon Prime. All you be careful with all of that stuff, right? No logos, right? We want to be. Oh no, but we do want to make sure that if it is saying that it's for Black Friday, that it has that time frame on it somewhere, so that way you're not getting dinged on that either. And make sure that your blog is a part of your approved sites that you have in your account for every storefront that you have, not just the main one. So if you have multiple storefronts, you definitely want to do that as well. Altavis, have you licensed any? I have not, and I have not even heard anybody actually work to that capacity with a brand on Creator Connection yet. I've seen that they started talking about it a little bit more again, but I have not seen anybody get the license feature or the license option from a brand or with a brand on Creator Connections yet. Unless they've gotten it done, unless they've done it and they're just not, they're being hush hush, which I can understand. That's cool. But I definitely haven't seen anything yet. I'm working on videos to discuss this stuff more. Good. Can I ask a question about CC? Is there a quick way to filter out all the CC campaigns that I have no content submitted for? What do you mean? Like ones that you're not interested in? The only hack that I found is with Oink. When it comes to, because y'all know Bunmo and some of these other brands will have 90 million campaigns for the same 4 products. I'll be like, okay, we're doing a bit too much. With Oink, you can block a brand. That's the only way that I've actually seen so that way it's not in my feed when I'm going through. And it's only with the extension when you're using like a laptop or desktop. Outside of that, I have not seen any other way to be able to do it. Um, Now, if you're talking about a campaign, um, if you're talking about campaigns that you've accepted and you don't have content for it, um, are you trying to add content or are you just not creating content for it at all? So one of the things that Oink allows you to do is you can create an idea list and put it in, and anything you don't have content for submitted already and you don't have anything for it, it will automatically add it to that idea list and add that idea list as content for that campaign. That's the only other way. That's the only other thing that has been a good option. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, and the balloons, party woo. Yes. Megan said, or the adult products. Have you seen Fizz's some of his videos? That'll give you a good giggle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the picture frame. No, the personalized pictures. There's a couple different ones. I won't block the brands though if I accidentally sell one of the products. I want my 30 cents. That part. But here's the thing. So here, I want y'all to understand too. When you block the brand, you're not blocking them to never be able to receive a campaign from them. You're just blocking them so you can't see them. So that way you can go through campaigns better. But definitely, I understand that 100%. Because some of those campaigns, it's too much. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all. I thank you kindly for all joining me on today. Thank you, Ahud, for allowing us to be on the platform. And thank you, Emmy, and the team behind the scene. We always appreciate you guys. Don't forget that always on Monday or Tuesday, the replay goes up. And if you have questions that you weren't able to ask, or you have a follow-up question, you can always put it in the comments there. And also that there's also a lot going on, y'all. Again, we're in prep mode, right? We have this fourth quarter. We have Black Friday, that whole weekend, or that whole week, I should say. But then you also have the Christmas season. This is our Super Bowl season because people shop the most, but we also have things going on where people have been losing jobs and in large numbers. So we don't know how this season is going to play out right now. So play it by ear. You guys got some great insight last week about things to kind of look out for, or some content that you may want to do that are like evergreen products. We talked about that. Go back and watch that replay. Evergreen products versus trending products is definitely, so this is the time for you to kind of tap into that and create content. So you guys have a great weekend, and Billy, be on the lookout for a message. See you guys.
You got it. Thank you.